See the field behind me? This field was just purchased by a local lumber company. It's located across the street from my father-in-law's property. They bought it, they've clear cut it, and the underbrush that you see, they'll soon burn it off, and then they'll eventually plant pine trees. And something different will be there than what was there. That's what I've done with my life over the last few months. Going back to February when I began to question whether Christianity was true. When I got to May, I was even beginning to wonder if theism was even true. And if you've been following my videos, you know for a while there I've considered myself an atheist. I had stripped everything away, and I was kind of at this place now where the underbrush was still there. It was in the underbrush that I began to realize that Jesus was still present. Didn't make any intellectual sense, didn't make any logical sense, but Jesus was still present in my mind. He was still present in my heart of hearts. Didn't want him to be. I wanted intellectual integrity, I guess you would say. I wanted life to make sense, and it made more sense that God doesn't exist. It just makes more sense that nothing has really any meaning. The problem that I have with that is life does have meaning. And Jesus is still so much alive in my life. Tried to get rid of him, but he's still here. So what my life will become, I don't know. Right now, kind of looks like a field that still has some undergrowth that needs to be burned off. Because my life still doesn't look really beautiful yet. But it will. I'll burn off the underbrush. I'll get rid of the things that don't need to be there. And then I'll rebuild. Just as this lumber company's gonna put pines on that property, and in a few years it'll be a beautiful field again. I'll rebuild my life. I'm gonna rebuild it on Jesus. Okay, it may not make sense. Maybe my atheist friends are going to say, this is all in your imagination. This is all your neurons in your brain have been wired this way since you were a kid. And so therefore, that's the reason you're thinking the way you do. So be it. I'm going to build my life on Jesus. I'm going to build my life on the fruits of the Spirit: love, peace, joy, contentment, generosity, faithfulness, self-control. I'm going to build my life on those things. I'm going to build my life on Jesus' teaching on Matthew 25 when he tells those to enter the kingdom of heaven, and he says, come into the kingdom of heaven, because when I was hungry you gave me something to eat, and when I was thirsty you gave me something to drink, and when I was naked you gave me clothing, and when I was in prison you visited me. Because what you've done to the least of these you've done unto me. That's a life worth living. I'm going to look at the Jesus that Dietrich Bonhoeffer talked about in Christ the Sinner, when he says, when you look at the person of Jesus Christ in the Gospels, you see what it means to truly be human. This is humanity's intent. This is how humanity was intended to live. Last year at the Wild Goose, Frank Schaeffer said that in the person of Jesus Christ, we see what the evolutionary processes will end up looking like. When we reach our final destination as a humanity, it's going to look like Jesus. It's going to look like the kingdom of heaven. I, I know as I rebuild, some of the things that I once believed will not be put back on the field. Will I believe that the the earth is 6,000 years old? Probably not. Will I believe that 15 million animals got on a 500-foot boat to be saved from a flood? Probably not. I know there will be Christian brothers and sisters that will look at me and say, if you don't believe those things, you're going to hell. Okay, fine, I'll go to hell. But I'm going to live my life for Christ. Because I find it more beautiful. I've been also shocked in this whole experience as I've read agnostics and atheists who were former evangelical Christians, that they really didn't leave their worldview. I think of Bart Ehrman, the New Testament scholar at University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He's got a blog that he has set up that's got a subscription section to it. And all those subscription fees are going to take care of the least of these, going to homeless ministries and going to taking care of people in poverty. He's given almost $70,000 a year away. I've heard other former evangelicals who are now atheists or agnostic. They're all involved in social justice because they want to make the world a better place. They're fulfilling Matthew 25. They're probably better Christians now without a belief in God than they were when they did have a belief in God. Strange. What's that mean for their eternal destination? I don't know. That's God's deal. Even if there is an eternal destination. So I know that there will be some that'll write me off as a heretic. There will be some that'll write me off because I may not believe exactly the way they do. That's okay. I'm going to love you anyway. Find peace in your life. I found it in mine. See you next time.